Can you use the bathroom? Like
No, I got a ileostomy bag.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No.
You would never know it. You would never know it.
Like when you see me, like you just expect me to be a healthy 23-year-old. I am.
That's what I was told too.
But it's
Once
like,
I tell people, and they be like, "What?"
It's like when you see this, it's like, oh, this dude, like, got a catheter here.
Yeah.
Fazal. I own Tone Hair Salon in Raleigh, North Carolina. I invented the Swan Method, and today we've got a special guest here. His name is Marco. And hello, what's up?
Hey.
I know I'm in a very good mood, and we're gonna, always be cheerful. But today's episode is gonna be about inspiration and prevailing and getting through life and the BS that comes with it and learning how to smile. And this is why we have Marcus on today. So,
Marco, correction.
Marco.
Look, I said Marco, correction.
Why do I keep fucking up his name? From moment one, I can't even say his name right. Marco Polo.
Yeah,
Yes.
Marco. There we go. Polo. All right, we've got Kaylin here, who's been doing hair for over 2 years. And we've got baby stylist here, 𝗧𝗢𝗡.
Hey, everybody.
And we've got our guy friend here, Marco. So let's get it going. Now, I've only heard part of the story, and it intrigued me so much. And I was like, we have to have a dude on here that has a story. And you've got a story. So you want to give us a little start it out?
Yeah, I can. Well, my name is Marco. And the way the story goes is like, it's just surprising and like weird in a way, because it all started in 2018.
So really recently.
Yeah, and I was 19 at the time, 18 or 19. And it all started with, this is all because of cancer, and it's various cancers. I started with symptoms, and symptoms that, a 19 or 18-year-old wouldn't really think like, oh, it's cancer. I went to the doctors. They would always tell me like, oh, it's probably because of all the work that you've done, all the heavy lifting that you do and stuff like that. And so I never paid mind to it. So I let it all go until the year after, where...
What was a couple of symptoms?
That can be like 100, like I could say anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it starts with bloody stools.
Okay.
Pain in the stomach, like you feel constipated at times, and it's just pain in the stomach, actually, just pretty much it. Every time you eat, you go straight to the bathroom. And that's what, like, when the blood started going in the stool, that's when I started getting worried. But like I said, the doctors never really paid attention because I was 18 and 19. So that's their last options, to think that, oh, he has cancer. Until my brother, he got diagnosed in 2020. He was 25 at the time, if I'm not mistaken, or 24. He got diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And from there, we all, as a family, had to get tested. My mother, my sister, my daughter, my dad, and we all had to get tested. And all of us, except for my dad, who was at the time was very scared to get tested, we all got tested, and we all came positive for a gene called FAP. Could I bring up the...
Yeah. And just a heads up, 𝗧𝗢𝗡 is in the medical field as well as hair. So
that's why I'm looking very concerned.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like,
if anybody fully understands, it would probably be 𝗧𝗢𝗡.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, my husband just had a colonoscopy, and it was...
It's something.
It's something.
I mean, especially for someone
It's definitely
so young.
Yeah.
It's so weird,
I've
You're 22 and Joe is 45.
Where you wouldn't think where you're going to have symptoms like that at that young age, especially when it's something that can be that serious. You just don't pay attention to it like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's like at the time it was more like when my brother got diagnosed, it was during the time where it was like the COVID.
Yeah, I was just about to say COVID time.
Yeah, COVID time. So, when he texted me, he was like, "Hey bro, I got bad news." I thought, "Oh, it's just
You gonna say
COVID."
COVID, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, well,
Oh man.
yeah, there you go."
You're not gonna have service. You gotta be on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's called familial adenomatous polypsis. I think
Let me see.
Yeah, if you can
the
read it.
medical girl.
Yeah, the medical term.
Yeah, so you said FAP, familial abdomatomus polyposis.
Did they make it any harder?
Right.
Yeah, so that's why they shorten it to
FAP.
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 Yeah, it's an inherited condition that affects the gastrointestinal tract. So that's probably why you had a lot of like cramping, feeling, probably inflammation in your stomach.
Yeah,
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what actually started it. And then when my brother got diagnosed, it was like, it was 2020. We all got tested. We all came positive, except for my daughter who came out negative with the gene. And I thank God for that, honestly.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, that's when they start testing you with blood, colonoscopies, endoscopies, whatever, like through the mouth and all that. And so when they found mine, they found a bunch of polyps, like balls in my colon. And they were like, there were hundreds. Yeah, it was hundreds. The biggest one I had was 4 centimeters. And they were just like, no, we have to remove your colon.
Wow.
And I got my first surgery in August of 2020. And from there, it was just...
How's that experience going
was
for your first time surgery?
During COVID too.
Yeah.
It was like, you couldn't have visitors. You couldn't have nothing. Like, you couldn't really... if you wanted your brother there, if you wanted your friend there, you couldn't really do it.
Was it like a scheduled procedure or was it an emergency surgery?
That was a scheduled procedure. They just wanted to, for me to prevent me having chemotherapy, radiation. They just wanted that to go away because what they did with the polyps polyps that I had, they hot snared it, so they just
Like
removed it. Yeah. And then so they tested it and they were like that I was at a 90% chance of having that cancer. So they removed it, and that following year, in 2022, they did a biopsy in my liver. And so they turned out that I had liver cancer too. And so, it's just weird because, I didn't drink. I drank occasionally. I can say, like, I can't be lying and say, oh, yeah, I didn't drink at all. But yeah, I drank occasionally, but it wasn't like, oh.
I totally feel you on that. Like, with the whole just feeling like they're blaming you, feeling like you did one thing more than the other. Like, we did normal amount of drinking, but we didn't do like no excessive heavy drinking. You wasn't alcoholic, I'm sure.
You're saying we because
because
she went through.
Yeah.
Tell us about, I mean, both of y'all got some stuff.
Like what you're saying sound like some stuff I've said before. Just after realizing all this stuff, such at a young age, I had pancreatitis. When back in 2019, I was a senior in college. I think I just turned 21. So I was like, I wasn't even allowed to go into liquor stores. I couldn't buy liquor. Like, it wasn't something that I could easily get. So they were making it seem like it was only so many options that could cause a pancreatitis. So it was like being an alcoholic. Normally it's found in older men at that. And then your gallbladder. So what they tell me to do is basically to stop drinking completely, which you're telling a 21-year-old at the time, like, what? Like, I don't even drink like that. Like, I promise y'all, I don't even drink. So I was upset about that. I did listen for a while, but I do occasionally drink. In moderation, they say. And then they took my whole gallbladder out. But the thing was, with the surgery, it was a quick, fast emergency surgery. I didn't know. They told me like literally 5 minutes prior. And so I was able to pray with my family right before. But like telling somebody like you're about to have surgery right now who never had surgery before was very scary for me. Could be scary for anyone. And I was such a like Grey's Anatomy freak, so I just felt like I wasn't gonna come back out, and I'm like, oh my god, this is
So
the
a
one
planned
time
one
that
might have actually been worse for you.
you said what?
A planned one might have actually been worse.
It would, because I would have been too much thinking on it, but it happened so quick, and I was back out at the same time. Didn't remember anything after the process of praying with my family. Like I remember going through the double doors, and that was it.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
was that similar for you? Like the anesthesia type part, like you didn't.
Yeah, it was.
Remember
it was,
after the
I mean, it was more the fart, like in the fart.
Part blooper.
No, well, if I'm being like, can I make a joke?
Yeah,
I
do
can't.
it. It's a con-
I
yeah.
can't.
Well, you can do whatever you want here.
Be joking.
I can't fart. That was the last time I farted. I'm gonna be honest.
Like, still to this day.
I can't
Like that's
fart.
crazy. Cause like, yeah, they were like, you can't leave the
awesome.
hospital
I'm
until
sorry.
you
But no,
have a bowel
that's
movement.
awesome.
So
No, but the
it took
thing-
me forever to do that.
Yeah.
My husband thinks I can't fart.
My husband thinks I can't fart.
No.
Okay, let's get back to it. So I just love that he's telling a crazy story and his life, but you're doing it with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why you're here, because you need to share your story and proceed.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Did you have
Anything else,
family, like any of your other family have any issues, like besides the immediate family? I'm talking about generations before.
yeah,
So this is a hereditary
Yeah, it's
type
a
of thing. It's just
generational
in the
thing.
genes.
Yeah, it's like my grandma. She had my aunt who passed away. God rest her soul. She died 6 years ago exactly, from breast cancer. But you know, we didn't like with my mom. We didn't really see those symptoms in her.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing goes with that, because like just last year, that's when she started her chemotherapy and she got the surgery and everything. And so it just passed on too, because on my dad's side as well, like we had uncles that had stomach cancer, who had throat cancer, but most of them had it because they were really, like, if I'm being honest, they were drunks and they were like alcoholics, or they were just heavy smokers. But in a way that I learned too is like, it depends on how you use, like, you know, like if you drink too much, you know, you can wake up that cancer, or if you,
That's why y'all call it in moderation. Like if anything you overuse could be bad for your body, just in food wise. Like anything overused is just not healthy.
Do you pay attention to the things that you're eating now, like ingredient wise? And I've heard that you should have a alkaline body versus an acidic body.
Yeah, I was gonna say mostly they saying like you have a lot of mucus in your body. That's I mean, to be real, I don't know. It's more like the holistic versus the Western medicine stuff. But I would say if you look up like Dr. CB nutrition, maybe you can find some comfort of like doing that.
with him, I've seen him.
versus yeah, because he said he had cancer, and he was able to get rid of it. I mean, I don't know how that actually works, but I know some foods are able to help you at least feel better.
But also, so your mom has colon or breast cancer?
Colon cancer. Yeah, so like even my sister, she's 16. She got a bunch of polyps like removed like 2 months ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like for her, it's like
targeted your family.
yeah, and honestly, that was like, to us, it was a wake up call to all of us, and then in a way, it was also like with my sister, it was just very scary because they keep like, now they don't want to do surgery. Like a month ago, they wanted to do surgery. Like they wanted to do an emergency surgery because they were scared that these things were going to just keep growing back, and then it was going to end up to be cancer. But now they're saying, oh no, we're just going to do a bunch of scans every few months or whatnot.
Like track it.
What?
Yeah, in the track.
Hospital do you mind?
Well, me and my sister, we go to Duke. My brother does too, Duke, the one in Raleigh. We go to the one in Durham. My mom, she goes to Rex. And mostly we go there because, I mean, I go to Duke because my brother went to Duke, and that's where I got. And then my mom, she went to Rex. I honestly don't know why. I just remember her waking up in the hospital and she was like, yeah, that's that. Like, yeah, like I remember that. Like, it was like I said, in my second surgery, it was weird. Like, I wake up and then my mom tells me like, oh yeah, they found this too. And I was like, oh, well, boom goes the dynamite.
So what's life like now?
Yeah, how are you processing all of this mentally?
Mentally, I mean, I would say I'm thankful I'm still here, honestly.
I'll say you sound, excuse me, guys, but you sound like just very optimistic about the situation.
Yeah, we
Like you just, I don't know. I drowned in like my sorrow.
And a lot of people can go down a bad hill, you know, after something like this or during something like this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really important is staying positive and, you know, and being grateful and thankful. And that's hard.
Yeah.
When you've been through what you've been through.
I mean, the first surgery, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be sitting here and say, oh yeah, I was cool. My first surgery was actually the most like exhausting, depressed I ever was. I mean, I got back to drinking, I got back to smoking, you know, and all these other things that were supposed to be like how would you say, like a support type thing, like to support that pain that I was going through, and you know, like if I'm being honest, I was misusing some of the pain meds they were giving me.
I was too.
Yeah, so it's
But it wasn't intentionally or purposely. It was more of like you had to keep taking it to not feel pain. And then after a while, you feel like you still need it, or like, for me, it was for me to go to sleep.
You can get addicted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like my mom had to take them from me, and like I was like, I need one, and she was like, I'll give you half, and I'm like, no, I want like the whole thing to go to sleep.
Especially OxyContin. Like,
That's
the
what
worst.
that's what I had.
And Dilaudid too.
Dilaudid, yeah, that Dilaudid. Push that button all the time. I'm like every 15 minutes. I'm not lying.
You ain't doing that button.
They had a little click in there. I pushed it every 15 minutes. Like I was in pain, but it was helpful.
They give it to you through the spine, which was even like you feel it right away.
Yeah,
and then it was like every 5 minutes that you would like, no, not every 5, like every once in a while. So you don't have to tell them like, oh.
Yeah.
And so
they tell me like every 15 minutes because they probably don't want to give it to you that quickly because it is strong.
When I had my C-section, like 15, 16 years ago, they sent me home with pain pills, of course. And it was like a month and a half later. And they're like, you still need a refill? I was like, yes, I still need a refill. And what's crazy is that first off, it can be very addicting.
Yeah.
And then I actually had a surgery last year. I had a breast reduction, and it actually made me sick. And so I actually chose pain over that, which is so weird because I was like, man, I was actually looking forward to it, right? Sometimes I was like, you get a good sleep and you get real relaxed. Right? And now it made me so sick, and it gave me a huge headache, like migraine almost.
Well, maybe it
actually gave me pain, and I was like, this is some bullshit. But I guess I didn't get addicted. So
it was meant probably for you not to get addicted if you were looking forward to it.
Maybe it's the formula. I don't know.
That's funny.
But okay, so your last surgery was in 2021?
Nah, my last surgery was last year, 2023. But I had 2 surgeries that year. My first surgery was another liver resection, and then the second one was technically that was like 3 days after. I had an emergency surgery for them to remove a part of my small bowel. So right now I'm considered I have small bowel syndrome, something like that.
Do you be incontinent?
What is it?
Like, are you allowed to, like, can you use the bathroom, like, on your own regularly?
I got a ileostomy bag.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No. You would never know it. You would never know it.
Like, you know, like, when you see me, like you just expect me to be a healthy 23-year-old.
That's what I was told too. Once I tell people, and they be like, "What?"
It's like when you see this, you know, it's like, oh, this dude, like, you know, got a catheter here,
yeah,
and then it's just like I got the ileostomy. I have like, you know, like
So you have a stomach shit bag, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a poop bag, and it's just.
Terrible.
It got annoying at first. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I said like my first surgery.
I'm not gonna lie. That's my worst thing to do at the hospital.
Yeah.
Is that changing?
I cannot stand the smell.
It doesn't.
Well, that's good though. That means you're clean. Because some
for real. I mean,
bodies like
my uncle had one, and
it's just crazy. Like it really affects your poop. And like the smell of it in your stomach. Like. That stuff. Like I had drainages. Like I have scars from where I had like plugs, like drainages plugs in my stomach. And those alone, when I had to change those, and that was just like liquid. Like anything comes out your stomach just smells terrible, I feel like. Especially if you're not eating good, yeah.
I mean, mine's is different because mine's is a ileostomy. So basically, and plus that I have the small bowel, I like, basically it's more like I don't get the nutrition. That's why I have this. So they put me on something called TPN. It's like total partial nutrition, which is like whatever I eat just comes out. So if I didn't have the bag, I would be, pooping every day, like every second, like every time I would eat, straight to the bathroom. So it was just like,
it's going right through you.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, I'm thankful for my bag because it's like, oh, well, I don't have to use the bathroom as often. It's just like, it's like,
Then how do you get out of work when you're like, I gotta go to the bathroom?
I mean,
They're like, you don't have to use the bathroom. Go ahead and use the bathroom. I'm not making a joke.
I mean, you gotta have to pee.
Right.
But now, what do you do for a living? Because you're working full time, like nothing's like, you're just like living life. And
do you have any restrictions?
No, I
work
have
restrictions
a lot
or
of
anything?
work restrictions. I don't know. I just work here. But
You don't overwork yourself, overdo it. Like,
no, I
don't make me be Dr. Trigger here. Don't do that.
No, I don't
don't
overwork
recommend
myself,
that.
but it's just like, it's
You wouldn't
work.
know he had anything going on.
Yeah.
It's like work-wise, it's just like I work to an extent, like
Yeah, I
I
would say
work,
just don't exhaust your body.
yeah, I work to where I'm used to it, I'm just used to working. So it's just like when I got back out, I mean, like I said, the first surgery really changed everything. Like, when it came to the bag or when it came to me drinking and it's just coming out my bag, it's just it's just different because like even like hydration wise, like I can't drink water. I can't, drink too much sugar or eat too much sugar because then I will get dehydrated. And then it's just like, that's when I have to go to the hospital or I have to use hydration packs, like straight to the veins. And it's just like, I'd rather avoid it.
Definitely watch what you intake and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have, I don't want to share too much, but Caitlin has told me that there's a nurse that sees you daily.
Yeah, not daily.
So
It's
you have
every,
a home
No,
care
it's like
nurse?
Mondays.
yeah, it's every week. She comes in and checks my blood pressure and does everything. It's just does the dressing change because I have to change this every week. If not, then it gets technically infected, so I have to get it out. But I did catch 2 infections actually, but I had it in my arm
That was
at
another
first.
question I was gonna ask you. Like, do you feel like your energy level was the same after your surgeries and stuff? Because I
My
feel like
first
I
one,
lost
no.
like so much energy. Like my mindset energy was still there. Like I felt like I can do everything like I used to do and move at fast pace, work 3 jobs. But then like I realized my body was just like not agreeing with my mind. So like I had to really start paying attention to my physical body. So that's I'm like just from another person to that experience like surgeries and health issues. Just don't overwork yourself and just, I don't want you to be having flare-ups. That seemed like kind of like what you have when you have dehydration and stuff. You have to go back to the hospital.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I try to avoid overworking myself because I already saw I've been to the hospital way too much times.
Yeah, so
to
you
me.
don't even want to go back there if you don't
No,
have
I mean, sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes it's like I kind of miss it because it's like sometimes it's like just being in the hospital, being in the presence of like doctors or being in the presence of nurses. It's just like, yeah, I feel safe. But then it's just like, no, it's just like, it's way too much, especially like when you're alone in the hospital for like 5-6 months or even, more. And like I said, the last surgery that I just had, I was more aware of things and because like I said, my brother was there sometimes and I had people from church who would come too and they would preach the word to me every once in a while.
nice.
So, that encouraged me even more because like I said, my first surgery, I had nobody. Like my mom was healthy and everything, but it wasn't like she is now. Like if I'm being honest, like I said, everything just changed after our first surgeries. Like with my mom, she was more awake, more like happy of life because I'm gonna be honest, before this all happened, and it was because my aunt had passed away from it, she was very like, I don't want to do this, or she was a very angry person. And then it's just like,
It's hard to process
Yeah.
stuff like you wonder and you question.
And your aunt
question
had
God,
colon
like, why
cancer as
me?
well?
excuse me?
Your aunt had colon cancer?
No, she was the one that had breast cancer. Yeah.
Okay.
So she was, she was the first one to actually like, and that we know of, like that had breast cancer. So we were just like we were kind of like, my mom was doing mammogram. What do you call it? Mammograms. Yeah. Every like year or 6 months just to try to check up on that. And so, you know, she was doing that, and for her to be like, oh, colon, like, you know, it's just very weird. And for me, it was more
She
weird
was
when,
kind of probably expecting that.
yeah, that's like I saw it, like it was more like, oh, I thought it was going to be that, you know. But when, like I said, with FAP, like you can have various cancer, like it could be colon, gallbladder.
Because it's the whole stomach. It's
Yeah.
just the gastrointestinals.
Yeah, and it
So
goes
really,
up.
it could be,
Yeah, it goes to your
esophagus.
I was about to say esophagus.
We just make up our own words.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
okay.
We know what we're talking about.
It's hair in there. And
Right.
Whatever.
Hair
It's funny.
in
I do it
there.
all the time.
Yes,
all
you
the
do.
time. I make up some more
Hair
make
in
sense.
there.
So if you had some advice for a young person out there that, you know, because colon cancer is becoming very, like, there's a lot of people with it, and the age, they've dropped it from 50 to 45 to get checked.
Now they changed that up at least to 30, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
like
Oh, wow.
younger, and I swear it all probably ties into what we're eating.
I
You
think
know
so.
it.
No, it is. It
You
is.
know it,
'cause,
like
I mean,
we got to do better nutrition wise. Like, but I mean, either if we try to eat healthy or not, like these healthy foods are now
They
being
got
modified as well
stuff
too.
with,
Like so-
chemicals and stuff in them.
yeah, we can't really trust anything.
I have a friend who told me, he said, don't eat anything that says enriched flour. Okay. Do you know that's in 90% of what's in the grocery store? He's like, don't shop in the middle.
The middle, they
Just
say
stay around the sides.
outsides.
But everything.
That's what the
talking
doctors
about
tell us.
From bread to Cheez-Its to pita bread. I mean, everything. The first ingredient is enriched flour,
Yeah.
which is absolutely awful for you. And then, of course, I mean, I think we all gave up on fast food as far as it being healthy in any
Yeah.
sort of way.
Yeah. Even though they try to tell me like Chick-fil-A was the best one.
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, now that I've heard about all the ingredients they put on top of that, but
like
just because they
300
cook it in peanut oil don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's scary. Like,
So-
it's
So,
really
yeah.
scary.
It's really I don't
even
know
what we
to do.
drink too, like that's why with me it's like I can't drink certain drinks. Like even Gatorades, they tell me to drink it, but it has red dye 40, which is very dangerous.
I'm glad you know that. You know, when I was your age, I didn't know shit about shit.
Well, we had to kind of learn it
I didn't
though
know what
because
red
of the sickness.
Red
stuff.
40 was. Like, I mean,
I don't know.
I hope this is like a wake up call.
Like some of the
for
stuff they was
a lot
telling
of
me, I
people.
don't know, like when they was telling you what to eat and what to stray from and not eat. It's just like it was just like I was listening, but it was just like so many thoughts was going through my head. Like, what am I gonna eat then? What can I eat then?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean-
what is there that I can eat then?
Oh, you
Like,
should see when I send Joe, when Joe's like, I'm at the grocery store, what should I get? He's almost like embarrassed for the list that I give him because I'm like, nothing with enriched flour. Make sure that all the stuff is.
I used to look like heavily like when I used to go. Like I was really serious at the beginning, but then I'm like, whatever. I mean, God, you know, I just pray about it and I just let it be. But I used to be really serious in like like what they told me to do, and I would look at every ingredient, like the back of every ingredients, like the box and read the ingredients. But
It gets
I just
hard.
got tired. Yeah, it's like it's
It
hard,
really
and then it's
does.
really expensive. Healthy food is way expensive. Than that's probably why it's cheap and easier for people to get their hands on like unhealthy food because it's cheaper.
Well, and that's why it's cheaper because it's using all of the good stuff. It costs money. Same thing with hair.
Yeah.
Good hair costs money.
If you're so, you know, for a young person watching this who's like, I've had a lot of pain in my stomach, my doctors don't do anything about it. Is there anything that they can do to request like a colonoscopy or because I know unless I guess you pay out of pocket for it.
Yeah. Of course, you have to pay unless you got like some insurance. You'll still probably pay a copay or something.
Is there any like key terms that they can use at the office being like this, and this is happening right now to me? What can I do?
You want to answer that?
I mean, I'll be honest, because everything with us, it just happened like abruptly. Like, you know, like with my brother, that day that I took him to the hospital, they said that if I didn't take him at least an hour, like
Prior?
they had, like an hour prior, he would have passed away.
Wow.
And so, like, if you see that you're losing a lot of weight, that's one. Because my brother, he went from like 220 to like 140 in like
What?
2 months.
Oh my
And
God.
Wow. 2 months?
yeah, because we used to work in framing at that time. And so, like, you know, before we found out he had cancer, he was like this hardworking guy, you know? And then there would be times where he was like, I just want to go
Very
home.
exhausted.
Very tired, very exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, like, you just don't want to do anything. That's one of them. Like, tiredness, weight loss. With colon, I feel like it's just the blood in the stool that really would trick, like, you know.
Any
trick
kind
you.
of symptoms like that, where any of those symptoms that he named, I recommend going to see a doctor, urgent care, anything.
Specialist more than anything.
Especially the blood. The blood and the stool is the main thing to definitely look. Weight loss for sure, a drastic weight loss. But really, there's nothing you can really. I mean, there's nothing you have to say. You can just go in there and tell them your symptoms. More likely, they're gonna want to test you and look at your background and your family history, and that's when that colon test will come to play. And you can even ask them, like you said, just ask them that you want to test.
Most kids that age probably don't think to ask that. Though.
No.
Right.
That's
I mean,
the
you're
thing.
19,
So it's
18, 19. You're not thinking about colon
like,
cancer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where
But
it's
almost
like,
like breast cancer, where they tell you to just regularly check yourself. Like, you just gotta, I don't know, regularly go in the doctor and see if they can figure it out without having to be like, oh, it's cancer, you know?
and that's where pride also comes along. Like, you got to put your pride to the side. And it's like,
A lot of men do not like to go to the
Yeah,
doctors.
if I'm being
Can you
honest,
test to that?
yeah.
Because
I'll
they
be
would not
honest.
go to the doctors, like, for nothing.
And especially with a colonoscopy and the endoscopy, because if I'm being honest, every time I go in there, I say no homo.
Dude, you seen that TikTok where it's
Like,
like,
they did not want to go.
you're gay. You're gay. You know, have you seen, y'all know what I'm talking about?
No.
Where a guy like eats a banana and in the like a voice overhead it says, you're gay.
Oh,
gay,
yeah.
gay. And he's like, ah. He's brushing his teeth. Gay, gay.
Yeah, like,
Salman, you'll have to
men
find that
take
video.
care of yourselves too, for sure. Like,
Yeah, definitely. But
just go get a checkup.
Lucy, you know
It's okay.
Luce knows.
I hear you dying over there.
What was the long, so I am going to tie this in with some hair. Okay. I know that you're like, wait, what?
How you gonna do that?
What was the longest that you were laid up in the hospital for?
6 months,
6 months.
maybe less, probably like 5.
Did they touch your hair at all? Like,
No.
Thank you,
No, they
bitch. I was
didn't.
about to say that.
They didn't because for my
Steal my damn thunder.
sorry. I'm sorry, Lisa.
And now, welcome to Drika's show.
Sorry, handing it back over to Leda.
No, I'm kidding. Go for it. I'm good.
No, because I mean, I'm wondering too, because just being at the hospital for the past 4 months working there, first time being at a hospital, normally working long-term care, so we doing their hair is a normal thing, but me seeing them not really working on their hair at the hospital is just like insane to me, because that's part of the bath, the wash,
It's so
like
good.
that's part of the job description of the nurse aide. Like, we literally barely wipe them down, which is crazy. I'm not going to expose where I work at, but they barely wipe them down. And it's like, it's not a complete bath. And it's like, y'all are not really caring for these patients. And it's just
Well, that's, I don't know, you know this, we do a lot of demattings, and some of our clients are depressed. Some of them were bedridden. And, first off, I mean, I don't know, did you get any mats in your hair from being laid up for 6
yeah,
months?
I did actually because
that's crazy.
like I said, it was like my hair was growing like,
You got some thick hair, boy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
looking
You
at
got
it,
some
it's
beautiful
fine.
thick hair.
and most of the time I was in bed. I mean, they let
Yeah.
me walk, they let me do everything, but it wasn't like, I was just in bed. And so I would always feel back of my hair, and like, showers were every time that like I wouldn't be running some certain type of medications. So it wasn't like an everyday thing where I could wash my hair, and they wouldn't do it either. So it was just, like she said, like it would be
little wipe
the wipe
down,
and that's it. And
The bad
sometimes
bath.
Yeah, sometimes they didn't even do it. And so
I know you have to ask, really. I mean,
it's
they
like,
supposed to do that nightly, actually. Like, that's literally a nightly thing.
I felt like more like that I stayed there for so long. Like I even knew the nurses sometimes by name. So it was just like I just expect I like with me it's like I don't really expect much from people, but it's just like, it's like, oh, it's it's your job. But sometimes it's just like it's just, they maybe have like somebody else who's more important than me, which is like I honestly am fine with that.
No,
so it's just
they just wasn't. We get assigned the same amount of people for just a certain amount of people for you to take care of, and they could have had time to do it. So
I mean,
don't feel like you wasn't, important enough to be getting looked at, but they should have.
So did anybody brush your hair, care for your hair?
Nah, like I said, the most
really
recent
sad.
surgery, the first surgery was the one in March 30th, March 28th. I had my hair done, and
braided.
Yeah, I had it braided, and so at times it was so I left it as that.
But would you say you almost did that purposely?
Yeah, just because I knew
I braided my own hair while I was laying in the bed.
Watch this podcast and listen to this podcast because a lot of our demattings, this is what's happening. They're bedridden, they're not being taken care of, and I've had nurses on my TikTok say, we've got a billion people we should we need to take care of, and your family should be doing that. And it's like, no, like
it doesn't take long to put two braids in there.
Braids.
Like, thank God I could do my own hair.
But I think this is a good story to share that if you are having a surgery ahead of time, that. Maybe go ahead and have your hair braided because unfortunately the health system is not going to help you out there.
I have an advice though. When you braid your hair, don't put oils in your hair, because when I did because I braided my hair, but I put my cousin, she did my hair. She put a lot of product in my hair. So there was times where the room was very hot and I was sweating and it would just go in my eye. And then there was that time when I was in the ICU, I had my both arms like that. So I couldn't move or wipe it away. So when it came to that, it was just like, I had to tell the nurse, but sometimes, like I said, the ICU nurse was just more like,
in ICU,
when they could get to it.
In ICU, they do not care.
No, they don't.
They is more focused on because that's right after the surgery part. So more like they have ICU, then they got step down, and that's like in between, and then they have where you just have your patient room and you just in there until you get better. But ICU is right after the hospital. Right after the surgery, and they're just focused on their state of being and their vitals and making sure they're not just making sure they are good right after that surgery.
Okay, I can.
But
I can
that's
see that.
literally why you have a nurse and a nurse aide.
Right.
We don't do anything about that. So while y'all doing that, we could be working on the actual patient and their care and personal care. So I just don't understand. That's literally why we have different positions.
Right.
Yeah, the ICU, that's where I got my foot pain too, but I don't know how I got my foot pain, honestly.
You say your foot pain?
Yeah, that's where I got my it was very severe to the point where it's if she touched the bottom of my foot, I would it would just hurt. And I was on 3 narcotics at the time too.
I think it was I had restless leg syndrome after that part, the whole surgeries. I never had this problem before until after my surgery. Restless leg syndrome is kind of where your foot falls asleep and it's tingling and you feel that tingling and numbing sensation and you're trying to wake it back up and it kind of hurts.
Yeah.
It's like that throughout the whole time. I can feel it coming up and then I can't shake it and I can't wake it up and I have to walk around and just kind of just basically stop it from hurting. And it's a sharp pain going up from the bottom of my foot up through my leg. And so I feel like it was part of a side effect from one of my medicines, for real, because I never had that problem. And I sometimes to this day have restless leg syndrome, randomly.
Yeah.
At night, especially when I'm laying down, my legs flat.
Yeah, it's the worst when it's laying down.
Bed. I think because we've been in the hospital bed, laying in the bed for so long.
Yeah.
That something with our nerves, after the surgery, then who knows what they could have done.
I mean, they told me was that they probably put their leg on top of my foot while they were doing the surgery. And it's I felt like that's what it was, because at the time too, the doctor was kind of ignoring me every time I would bring the foot pain. He was like, just give him 5 grams of Oxycontin every 4 hours.
Who knows what they could have done. I was more worried about my line of my cut, and they were like, "Did you care about the appearance or you living?" And I'm like, "Well, y'all could have cut a little straight line, like just bent.
For your scar?
Yeah, like they look like they just like like they could have. You got the scalpel. You could have. Y'all can't do no straight line. I mean, they jacked my line up, then took my belly button off and everything. I don't have a belly button no more. Like, I'm like, that was the first thing I was thinking about when I got out of surgery. They said, "Are you happy that you're alive?"
When I had my surgery, which was purely
This makes my back look
cosmetic.
really bad.
Okay,
I don't have one either.
I told them, I said, whoever's cutting me, I said, the doctor I'm paying for is cutting me, and the
Exactly.
doctor that I'm paying for is stitching me up. And they said yes.
That's
said,
good.
fine. But for cosmetic surgery, you do have to request that because they'll put somebody, an assistant or something.
I wish I could have. I was trying to request. They said I couldn't be picky or choosy.
No, well, when you're
Because yours is an emergency surgery, honey.
Well, they sure
get
did
it
act like it was an
available.
emergency. I'm like, dang, like, just, I'm pretty sure y'all could have went in there real fast too, straight. Like, it's not that hard. Whatever.
All right. So, words of advice for today's episode. If you have pain, and we already went over it, some telltale signs that maybe you have an issue and you need to get it checked out. But also, side note, if you know you're going into surgery, go ahead and get your hair braided without oils, without product. This way, you don't have to worry about getting your hair getting matted. And we're telling you this because we have clients that come into the salon that have been bedridden that do need to be dematted. Unfortunately, we don't know. I mean, well, Jdrika definitely says it's just from nurses.
Yeah, it's just a
caring.
lack of caring.
Unfortunately. So to be proactive, unfortunately, that's what you can do. And I think Marco coming on here and just being the ray of light that he is, just telling us his story is so inspirational because there are so many people, especially right now, that are, they're just depressed on life and they let it overtake them when it's like you got somebody here that has had his colon removed. He's got
multiple
a bag.
cancers,
But he had multiple
surgeries.
cancers. His whole family.
Yeah.
Like, not to bring that all up, but I mean, why is my
Yeah. But the fact that he is, having such positive outlook on everything and faith and just.
Can I add one? more thing?
Go ahead.
All right, so this is like another advice too. If I can, look for God before the storm becomes greater than it is. Because at the end of the day, like with me, like I said, my first surgery was the worst because I didn't have the guidance that the Bible gave me, or I didn't have someone that I could really talk to, which was God. And so at that time when everything just happened, like I looked for him a little too late. And so like for me to say that, oh, well, a lot of people be like, that's an imaginary thing and stuff like that. You're just coping with your, with your things. But in reality, like when you look into the Bible, when you look at Deuteronomy, generational curses are real.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I said our eyes changed, we did a lot of things in our past, even with our past family members, for us to realize that why we got the things that we got. And it's not just that, a lot of people call it karma. But in reality, like I said, it's just generational curses. It's just when you do something, just think about your kids. Because in reality, like when I changed my life and gave my life to Christ, my daughter came out negative.
Wow.
And so that ended the generational curse in the say.
Right.
And so in a way, it's just like, don't look for God too late. Because at the end of the day, it's just, it's the mercy and grace God gives us and the free will to choose if we want to, go to him when our difficulties are at its best. Because at times, like we look at, you never know if it's good news or bad news, but you can always look at it as good news. So
Look
it's
for
like
the brighter side.
So it's just, I guess that's the best advice that I can.
That's
really
amazing. Oh,
Yeah, oh my God, that is amazing. Like,
the tears are
go
coming.
ahead.
Oh no, that's amazing, and I'm glad you shared that. I'm really glad you shared that because, I mean, especially me and Jdrika, we're all, the tears. Oh,
That's sad though, because I felt the same way. Like I didn't start praying so hard until after the fact. And yeah, like it's never too late to turn to God, but definitely, seek him in everything you do. And just have that grace and that faith that everything's gonna be okay. Because you never know how quick things can change. And I don't want you to feel like y'all may did something that caused y'all generation curse, because people can definitely put stuff on y'all family. You don't know who you're bringing into your life, your past life, your family, who they may have known, but people are very, there's evil people out there. And
we knew about witchcraft at that time.
They could definitely have put some type of generation curse on y'all, not something that y'all particularly did.
And I'll be honest too, I used to pray to the things.
Pray for discernment, pray for all of that stuff,
because at the end of the day, a lot of people, like I said, they look for new things. Now, back then, I'll be honest, I prayed to La Santa Muerte. La Santa Muerte is very big in cultures in Mexico and stuff, because supposedly Santa Muerte is death.
What's up?
It's death. Yeah.
I said, don't say no names that don't need to be said.
No, and
It's our conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my mind.
no, it's not. It is kind of like conspiraccy theory.
I think I heard of him. Is that one of the? Tell me a little bit about him.
So basically,
That's the one. I think I heard that name. I think
the Santa Muerte is basically just death. Basically, it was an angel that was in heaven that got kicked out of heaven, and supposedly, every time he would, I guess, cause commotion. I really don't know the backstory of it, but I just prayed.
Maybe that's the Book of Enoch.
No, it's not the Book of Enoch. Yeah, it's just
interesting.
Like a lot of people, like the Bible says clear as day. We don't battle with flesh and blood. We
are
battle with
battling spirit,
100%.
And that makes me try to realize, when I'm ready to go off on somebody, oh God, it's just not them. It's just, it's within them.
And then you look at the stupid small things in life, and you think, wow, how dumb, and how, even these celebrities. I wish the whole celebrity fad would just end, because one of our podcasts, we spent a lot of the time talking about J-Lo and P. Diddy. And I'm like, they don't deserve it.
And now I feel like nobody's talking about that no more. I feel like it's just now over that quickly. It really was a distraction, because now the eclipse is over and we made all that fuss. It's now it's like, oh.
No, but you never know. Things can still happen.
Just up to that point.
They also, well, we don't have to get into this, but
we don't know.
The verdict is still out on this. Okay, do you believe that the world is flat?
Let me be honest with you.
Yes.
On the way from New Bern, I was talking to my friend, and he was talking to me about, Scripture actually says that there's a firmament.
So what you think about that scripture?
I'm going to be honest with you. It's just, I don't know. I'm in the neutral zone about it, because I don't think the earth is flat or round. But at the end of the day, I would tell people, I don't think that's a part of our salvation, if I'm being honest.
True.
But in a curiosity, I would just think that, clear as day, the Bible does say
I feel like we don't know exactly what shape it is. Like you said, it's more in a neutral light. I feel like, because when we say flat, it could be we're not saying just a flat.
It's flat. Of course, it's bumpy. There's mountains and there's depths of the ocean.
Right.
My issue, though, is that now science is telling us that it's pear-shaped.
Right.
Or show me a pear.
Oval.
Why are you showing me a perfect circle? Oblique.
Yeah.
Oblique? No.
How do you say oblique?
I don't freaking know.
The weird flat oval, pretty much. But
then it's show me that. What I really want to see is a picture of a cruise ship on the underside of the earth.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, there is some videos to debunk both the flat earth and the round earth. But it's just, like I said, it's just, I'm in a neutral zone.
I tell my husband.
I'm really
He's
based off the Bible says, but
I think it's something people don't really, they don't want to. It's hard for anybody to believe it's other than round, because that means they've been lied to and deceived, and nobody wants to admit that. But at the same time, and this is what my husband says all the time, he's like, Leda, in the end, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Part like what he said, how's that, help
Part
with
of your
salvation?
Yeah,
Right.
salvation.
I mean, right now with all his shit, like colonoscopy, having a bag, do you think he cares about the flat Earth? No.
I mean, I care. I would care about it. I'm gonna be honest with you, because like, like in a way, it's just like to kind of like, like especially people nowadays just be like, oh, like like if you tell them you're a Christian or if you believe in God, they just bring up this fact that like, oh, if the Earth is flat, this and that, or they just bring up things that's in the Bible
That connects it, and that's the only reason I'm so heavily on it,
I'm
because
not that heavily on it,
like, I've always been a conspiracy theorist, but like the more
It's
that
actually
I keep
conspiracy realist. We're
realist,
changing the
right,
name.
because it's not theory, it's really real. But
Yeah, loose.
but no, so it made me more into it because I started realizing it was helping me get more spiritually into my like religion as being a Christian. But I started connecting dots, and it was just like, I mean, it does make sense. I'm not just saying it to debunk anybody or make somebody change their mind. It's just because I feel like it's true, because
I feel
of just
closer to God now that
me too. Like, I
believe
swear,
this.
like I feel like I'm understanding the Bible more. I'm understanding how the world, because how He created the whole world, and like I'm learning and finding little pieces and parts in the book, and even the books that they don't have in the Bibles. I haven't read yet, but need to finish the whole Bible first. But it's just like it's making like connections, and it's just connecting for me, and I just feel like I'm getting closer to God, and I feel like I'm understanding more, and I feel like it's the truth. So that's why I don't feel like it's a theory.
All right, to move back to subjects and to end the
Yeah, sorry.
to end the podcast. What's life like for you in the next couple? Do you have any more surgeries? Are you clear now?
Yeah.
Like,
All right, what's your state?
what
Status?
you got going on?
I mean, as of now, the only thing that they told me is that I got to get checked up every 6 months for my liver, every year for my small intestine, and the intestine that I do have left, like it's like a centimeter or something like that. And then from there, it's just constantly testing. I mean, thank God this year I didn't find nothing, because honestly,
I'm saying, so are you like clear? You're
I'm
just
not
like
clear to where it's like, yeah, I'm cancer free, but it's more like, yeah, I'm clear as God's will is, because at the end of the day, it's just like it could
I
come
just
back
like
at
the
any.
way he talks.
I know, me too.
It's just, I mean, I just said it's like
Very
it's more like
inspirational.
it can be next month. On all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, you got to come back to the hospital. We found a tumor in your liver. I'm like, all right, well,
So you just living day by day, and you just taking it. That's awesome.
yes.
That is amazing.
Hard.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here imagining like that would be. I don't know if I could do it. That's why you're here.
Not everybody.
That's why you're here right now, to share your story, and you're a true inspiration, and we're all going to be praying for you.
He's a walking testimony, and sometimes
For sure.
God give His strongest people. What is the saying?
The strongest battles.
The
Yeah,
strongest
strongest
battles.
battles to the strongest people. Yeah, and for real, because you have that mindset, and everybody don't have that mindset. Like
And
honestly,
at such
I
a
feel
young
like
age. Like, you're so young
I
to
would
be
be over it.
battling through all of this.
my little pancreatitis looks like nothing compared to you, and I was like about to feel like I was end of the
Well,
world,
that's no
like
little fight
dying.
for you either. I mean,
But I just felt like it was over. Like I feel like it was the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
I mean, everybody who I would say, like even my brother, he would have thought he was the end of the world. And one testimony that my brother, I mean, I want him to give, but I'll be honest, I want to say it because it's really a big testimony, is that in December, him and his girlfriend found out that they are expecting. And from radiation, chemotherapy, and all those other tests that they do, he was technically not supposed to have any more kids. He was, what do you call it, fertile?
It's supposed to like stunt your
They're supposed to store your
Right.
sperm cells. So for him to find that out, and
Wow.
we just found out the
That's
gender
amazing.
on Saturday.
oh,
I have a nephew.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's
It is. So
amazing.
he was also blessed.
Yeah,
Again, like, that was
abundantly, because honestly, like, we didn't expect that from them, because like I said,
he was probably like, hey, we can do
Yeah,
it.
like these are the little miracles that happen in life, like
She was
that
probably
God
like,
reminds
you.
us of, like, for sure.
Oh, you guys. Exactly. So
That's what Joe would have been doing. I mean,
Mama Leda, so embarrassing.
And I'm over here talking about some, yeah, that's the miracles that God gives you.
Right, complete opposite. So
Yeah,
about-
Lena just
Oh my God.
And I'm over here feeling like I'm Dr. Phil. Interesting.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if snacks on this episode is a good idea. I mean, I love the enthusiasm, and I was thinking about it, and then I was like, with the colon cancer and the
I honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I eat anything. I mean, I don't know. God forbid my doctors and anybody sees.
I shouldn't have that.
Me too. I mean, I told you I started off good, but now I'm just like, I still don't eat pork. I don't eat a lot of pork and a lot of beef, but that's the only thing.
I mean, they say
told me.
beef is good for you because honestly, it's like in a sense. Also,
You
I
don't
always
want to
look at
that
it
Duke
like
doctors.
we got to look at how our ancestors lived because our ancestors, they didn't have medical care and they ate anything and
They
everything. But it's not they didn't have
Everything
chemicals.
that we need
They
is
didn't
really
have
out on the
chemicals.
earth.
Yeah, so
Sure.
But I don't know. That beef is up the question for me.
this red beef, red meat.
Lord, these
that
two
you
gonna
got.
go back and forth about it.
Huh?
So they gonna go back and forth about this
know.
beef.
Drink will fight anybody.
She sure will.
You see how I threw that in
You
there?
know the
You
eye
see
roll
how I
when she
threw
do that.
in there? I said, I don't know. That's up to debate. That beef.
That red beef is actually good.
Okay, y'all.
Okay, so maybe to end this, we can have Chick-fil-A sauce come on.
Okay, can we get a visitor from Chick-fil-A?
We have a visitor from Chick-fil-A themselves. Yeah.
Chick-fil-A employee.
No, come on.
You are an elite employee.
You are elite employee.
Here, I'll give him mine.
He looks ready.
Cause you need the mic.
He said, "Do I like him?"
I just say Chick-fil-A sauce and just dip.
Welcome the twins.
I love your chain,
welcome
by
the
the way.
twins.
It's so glittery. All right.
I wear a mic. Or
Okay, this is the infinite. See, I make up words. Infinite. Infamous.
Infamous. Yeah, I think it's myths.
so I just say the word?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright.
Can you do the whole skit, the whole thing?
I mean, somebody gonna have to talk to me for that. Like,
Can I get a 8-piece count with fries and Polynesian sauce?
no.
Now he's nervous.
No Chick-fil-A sauce. No Chick-fil-A sauce.
No.
Barbecue.
No.
You said, wait, what do I want?
You said you want Polynesian sauce. No Chick-fil-A sauce. That's what you saying? I think that's what you said.
And then you gotta
You gotta do the head thing.
Oh, the face. Oh, damn.
I've heard all about this. Now you can
No. Ready. All right.
Okay.
No Chick-fil-A sauce. No Chick-fil-A sauce. No, that's fake crazy.
Wow.
Imagine that's how you end it off.
That little bit that you give us is gold. I mean, it really is. And I just know in the bedroom, that's what's happening.
Excuse
no
me?
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm so lost. What bedroom and what are we talking about? What? No Chick-fil-A sauce? No Chick-fil-A sauce? You really is. I'm about to call Joe because
That's what I do.
I'm about to call. I said, wait, what?
Thanks.
Talking about?
Look at Chris' face.
What? I don't.
Those type of activities.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Look, Caitlin, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's been real. Thank you guys for joining us today.
You're welcome.
And we will all be praying for Marco and
Yes.
thinking
the
of you
family.
as such an inspiration. And thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing your story, especially to all the youngins watching this to know that, you know, fucking live life and just stop thinking about the little things that, you know, can go wrong when you're living and you've got, you know, most of y'all are healthy and there's just
Don't waste your time if you're healthy, because at the end of the day, it's like
Okay.
if you got 2 feet and 2 hands, I'm gonna cuss. Don't fucking
Yes.
take that as an advantage, because at the end of the day, it's like God's giving you the allowance to, you know, work and prosper. But you know, a lot of people are like, I want fast money.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
And that's the
Be
problem
grateful
too.
for now. Like,
Yeah.
health issues can definitely give you a realization of what's important in life.
And a lot of people see, you know, influencers and they're like, I want that. And they have to understand that a lot of that is like fake.
It's fake for real.
And a lot of that can be a lot of fucking work because you can maybe look at my page and be like, oh, wow, that girl's got all these followers and she has her salon. And it's like, you don't understand how much I don't ever stop.
Yeah.
Like it is nonstop for me. And I didn't get from A to B like that. It took years. And it's still like I don't feel like I'm there yet. You know what I mean?
That was
like
your own pathway, like, and follow your own path for sure.
yeah.
Because
Stop looking at other people.
trying to go different routes is not going to work out. Like, only route it's going to go is God's route and road, and just follow that.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the next Hair in There episode.